Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Today we are on session 2. If you have not watched session 1 or gone through session 1, go back and start with session 1 so that you can complete this session 2 with all the information that you need. This is Coach Kristen Cooper here, and my mission is to provide value. So I hope that you find value through this series. Again, this is going to be session 2 for Kickstart Your Business Plan. So now you've gone through and you've explored who, what, when, where, why, how. You've gotten detailed on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what you offer, who you're offering it to, and how you're going to go about offering that. Now it's the next part where you decide, where do I start? I have so many things that I need to do. I have so many ideas. I don't even know where to begin. Now, that's what usually causes fear, anxiety, stress, and usually that's what holds people back from actually getting started. So what we need to do is we need to get our mind clear of all of the things that are going on inside it so that we can figure out what is the best way to move forward. So we're going to go through and we're going to kickstart our business plan. So we're going to work through this worksheet and we're going to go through and answer all this information. We're going to write down, explore, and that way we have the desired outcome that we're trying to reach and the steps that we need to do in order to reach that. So I focus on desired outcomes versus goals. And the reason that I like to do this is because the outcome is more important than the goal. Now let that sink in. Why is that? Well, because we can have goals that are trying to get to an outcome, but it's not going to reach the outcome if we don't complete them. So it's more, same with, we can be doing things that we think are getting to an outcome and it's really just keeping us busy because it's not reaching our outcome. So we really want to get clear on what are the desired outcomes that we're trying to reach. So what I want you to do is I just want you to write down your top 5 outcomes for your business this next year or going forward. What are the top 5 things that you want to gain for your business this year? Now we're going to also go through 6 and 7, which we'll explain here in a moment, but I want you to go ahead and stop the video and I want you to write down the top 5 outcomes that you want for your business. So go ahead and pause the video. Once you've completed the outcomes, then come back and restart the video. Welcome back. I hope you had a great time figuring out what are your top 5 outcomes that you want for your business this year. Now I want you to take a moment on 6 and 7. I've created these for you because I think they're often overlooked and things that we don't look at that we should think about. Now, number 6 is develop a teachable system for. In your business, is there something that you can develop a system for that you can teach to somebody else that's going to offload some of the responsibilities that you currently handle that will allow you to have more time to focus on the other outcomes that you want to achieve? Now, take some time to really think about this. And if you can't think of a teachable system, I want you to work backwards. I want you to think of what are some things that I currently do now that I could teach to somebody to do that I don't necessarily need to do. Then once you figure out what those things are, really explore and think, brainstorm, how can I create a system for this? Is there something I could do? And maybe it's just simply creating an outline of, okay, here's what I do, how I do it, and that could be your system so that you can train somebody else to do what you do not need to do. Now, as you're looking at these, one thing to keep in mind, and same thing with me as I was going through this, is really understanding what is it that I really have to do. You know, a lot of times we want to gain control and we think, oh, someone else can't do this, I have to do it. Is that really true? Now, if you were able to teach somebody to do it just like you do it or better, would you feel comfortable? And usually the answer is yes. We just need to teach them. We need to show them. So write down all the things that you think that you can outsource that you don't really need to do this year. And then I want you to go to number 7, which is the next step. I'm going to outsource. So after you figured out, here's the things that I do, and I could create a teachable system for these things, what of these things am I going to outsource, and who can I outsource them to? And then write that down. Then you're going to look at your outcomes and circle the 2 that will make the others easier to achieve. Now, oftentimes we can write down these different outcomes that we want, and maybe 1 or 2 of them will actually accomplish a couple of them, or at least accomplish part of it or go in the direction of. Because 1 or 2 of those outcomes will likely set the others in motion. Now I want you to place 2 check marks by the single outcome that makes all the others easier to achieve. And then we're going to first start with this and create a plan for this first outcome. So go through again, you're going to look at them and you're going to adjust which one you think is going to be the single outcome that's going to make all the others achievable or work towards them or gain more understanding to be able to work towards them as well. And then you're going to write that down. So that's going to be under your number 1 desired outcome. You're going to write it down and you're going to date when you want to have this completed by, or when you want to at least start it by, if it's going to be an ongoing type outcome task that you're going to be putting here. So go ahead and pause this video, and I want you to write down the 6 and 7, and then I want you to write down what your desired outcome that we're going to be going through and exploring. Go ahead and pause the video and return when you're completed. Welcome back. Now you have your number one desired outcome. You have it written down, you have it dated, and now we get to go through and we get to plan towards this. Now, you had so many things on your mind, things that you want to accomplish, things that you have, outcomes that you want to achieve, and that's great. The biggest thing to success is figuring out where to start, starting with one thing, mastering it, get it completed, go back to your list, pick out another one, and do it all over again. So I'm going to walk you through what is it that you need to do once you figure out your first outcome that you want to achieve. How do you plan for that so that you can have a successful outcome? So number one, you're going to define what you must do to achieve your business purpose. Who must you be? Traits such as dedicated, committed, vulnerable, open to change. And what are the actions that you need to take to reach your business's full potential and desired outcomes? I want you to write down everything you could think of. Even if it seems like it's not in order, it's random, I want you to go through and I want you to define what you must do to achieve your business purpose. So if there's something that you need to change in the way that I need to stop procrastinating, I need a time block, I need time management, write down what it is that you must do to achieve your business purpose. So go ahead and stop this video, take as much time as you need, write down everything that you can think of on a piece of paper, and then come back to this video once you've completed that. Welcome back. Now we're on to course of action. This is where I want you to write down on a piece of paper and I want you to go through who, what, when, where. I want you to ask yourself a lot of questions. Start with the who. Who do you need to talk to? Who do you need to train or get involved? Then you're going to go through what, then you're going to go through when, then you're going to go through where. So you're going to go through and you're going to ask all these questions and you're going to write down pertaining to this outcome, who, what, when, and where. And you're going to write down everything that you can think of. After you've done that, pause the video and come back once you're completed. Welcome back. Now we're on to number 3, research and interview. The easiest way for you to gain success and to move forward with receiving your outcome is to find somebody that's already done it. So you're going to find someone who just did what you want to do, who has the knowledge on what you're trying to accomplish. You're going to write down, who is this? If you don't know someone, go on Facebook, go on social media, Google, find anybody that's in your realm that's doing what you want to do and has been successful in it. And then reach out to them. Ask them, say, do you mind if I take 15 minutes of your time over the phone? I see that you're doing an amazing job. Uplift them. Tell them how great they are doing and that you would love to just take 15 minutes of their time to ask them a couple questions. And then you're going to ask them, what are the first 5 things that someone in your exact situation would need to do? So you're going to say, what would you do if you were where I am today? What would you avoid? That's a huge one. What is it that you've gone through that I should anticipate so that I don't go through the struggles that you did? Now, you may seem like, I don't want to ask them this information. Why are they going to want to tell me this information? I guarantee you, anybody that's done well in a business, they're going to want to talk. They're more than welcoming to you to ask those questions. If they're not, it's all in numbers. Just ask the next person. You will find somebody that will give you the information. And you're going to need that information to make sure you're taking the right steps moving forward. So pause this video, write down if you know somebody, or if you don't, I want you to write down by when will you find somebody that you can research and interview. And then I want you to go to your calendar and I want you to time block an hour for you just to research, if you don't know of anyone, but research somebody to research. And that way you put the time in that you can go in and find someone that is doing what you're doing and explore how they're doing it, why they're successful, and set up a time that you can interview them. Even if it's just via email, this is going to be super, super important information. So go ahead and pause the video. Either write down who you know that you're going to interview or a time that you're going to start researching somebody to interview. Go ahead and pause the video and come back when you're done. Welcome back. Now we're on to get a coach and accountability partner. This I cannot stress much. A coach will guide you to reach your deepest desired outcomes. An accountability partner will help you keep you accountable to the tasks needed to reach your outcomes. Schedule consistent meetings. Who will you check in with? What day and time each week? It must be someone who holds you accountable. So the accountability part is a must. Now, you can have accountability partners separate from a coach, which I usually recommend because you want to spend your coach time doing strategies and different things that are going to help move you forward versus just the accountability. But it definitely has to be somebody that if you told them you didn't do something that you were going to do, they would be disappointed and you do not want to disappoint them. So write down anybody you can think of that would be a great accountability option for you. If you don't know somebody, again, I want you to go on your calendar and time block, research accountability partner. You can go on social media. You can go on your Facebook and say, I need an accountability partner. Does somebody want to be my accountability partner and I'll be yours? And I guarantee you, somebody will reply. Everybody needs accountability to reach their goals. So write down anybody that you can think of that would be a great accountability partner, or write down a time that you're going to research getting an accountability partner and by when. Now, coaching. Coaching is huge. You can see here, I just kind of put a snippet here that just shows 7 times on the initial investment, and I think that's low. You can see here that of coaching clients reported a stunning ROI, which is return on investment of 10 to 49 times the cost. A lot of times we get stuck in our head that we can't pay that fee. We're getting our business going. We can't afford one. It's a write-off if you're a business owner. And then also, it's going to help amplify what you're trying to do. It's going to keep you away from things that you're wasting time on. And it's going to get you very clear on what you're doing, why you're doing it, what's holding you back, and get you moving forward. So if you don't have a coach, I would highly consider that you look into getting one. And I would time block some time that you could research different types of coaches and figure out what it is that you're trying to do in your business, and what do you think is going to be most beneficial for you in a coach, whether it be a results strategist coach, whether it be a negative core belief coach, somebody that's going to help you get past your limiting beliefs that you can't achieve what you're trying to achieve. And those are the type of coaches that are out there that are going to help get you moving forward. So go ahead and pause this video, and I want you to write down either options that you have or a date that you're going to make sure that you get this done by. Welcome back. Okay, now we're on to what do you personally need to master first? What is it that you need to do? What is it that you need to learn in order for you to be successful in this business? And I don't want you to think surface level. I want you to think deep. I want you to think, okay, do I need to really work on my emotional intelligence? What does that mean? Does it mean I need to work on my strength of being confident, having confidence and knowing that I can get things done and letting go of the past? Is it that I need to learn a specific subject, or is it that I need to get a certification or a degree? Is it that I need to learn on my online marketing, social media? What is it that you need to master first? I want you to pause this video and I want you to think of everything that you feel that you need to master first to be successful in this business. So go ahead and pause this video and I want you to write down everything that you can think of. Welcome back. Now that you've created a list of things that you need to master, we're going to create an exhaustive list of the next steps you will take. So what are the next steps that you feel are the most important that you need to take to get your business going? Now, we've explored a lot of information in the first session as far as getting clear, who's your audience, what do you offer, what are you trying to do, and now we're going to get clear on what it is that you need to do. Now, in order to move forward, you got to take steps. You don't have to take huge steps, but you need to take small steps in moving forward. Oftentimes we have so many steps that we get combobulated and we get frustrated and that we just don't even start. So the goal here is just to think of everything that we need to do, no matter how small or how big it is, and write it down. And that way, when we time block for planning, we can go back to these steps and we can start checking off the steps that we need to take one by one. And you'll notice as you do it, you actually get a lot more checked off in one instance than you thought that you would. And it takes a lot less time than you think that it does when you properly time manage and time block for these activities. So I'm going to pause this and I want you to go through and create an exhaustive list of the next steps that you are going to take. Awesome. Now we're back to clear your plate. So this is where I'm going to have you list out the items that you're focusing on now that do not match your desired outcome. Then stop doing them. To say yes to new things, you must say no to old non-production things. This is huge. This was really big for me. So what I'd like you to do, if you are like, I don't know. I don't really think there's a lot of things that I can clear on my plate, which is how I was and still am, was one thing that I'm constantly working on. I want you to time track your days. So spend a week where you write down during the day everything that you're doing. And I know that it's going to take more time to do it this week, and we all are limited on time, but this is how you're going to free up more time moving forward and say no to things that you do not need to be doing. So you're going to write down each day, you're just going to keep track of, okay, I did this, 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 and this. And then I want you to go back and I want you to review of your week. I want you to look at everything that you did and say, did this help me get closer to the desired outcome that I want moving forward? And I want you to circle everything that is a no. And if it's something that needs to be canceled, it's an ongoing basis, then you need to call and have that conversation and politely decline to continue doing them. And just express, I'm really flattered that you want me to do this with you. I really enjoyed doing these things with you. But right now, in order for me to reach my outcomes that I want moving forward, I just have to say no to moving forward with this. And that's a nice way that you could say no, and that way you could say yes to the new things that you need to do to reach your desired outcome. So I want you to write down things that you can think of now that are on your plate that you can clear. And I also want you to write down a week from today on your calendar, review week. And that means that this week, I want you to keep track of your week, of the things that you're doing each day. You can write it in the notes section of your phone or wherever you want, and just do a recap of your day of everything that you did. And then that way in the next week, you can go back and review and figure out things that you can take out. So go ahead and pause this and do that now, and then come back when you're ready. Welcome back. Now we're back to anticipate. What can you expect as hurdles along the way, and how will you overcome them and find solutions? Research. Now, this is also going to go back to when you research and interview somebody. You're going to ask them, what are hurdles that I can expect along the way? So you're going to write those here as well. You're going to figure out what are things that are typical to happen to somebody that is going down the same path that I am in my business. What are the hurdles that I can expect? And then write down solutions. Strategize. How can I anticipate these enough that I can create resolution now so that either I don't have to overcome them at all, or when it comes to this struggle, I'm able to navigate through it and have these solutions ready so that it doesn't hold me back from continuing and moving forward. So go ahead and take a few moments and pause this tape, and I want you to write down everything that you can think of. Now, this doesn't just have to be business related, it can also be personal related. So are there people in your family that are holding you back? Is there drama? Is there things that you need to isolate and get yourself away from because you know these are going to be hurdles that are going to come up through and they're going to hold you back from moving forward in your desired outcomes in your business? If so, write down what these hurdles are and how you can come up with a solution so that you can resolve these hurdles either now or when they come up in the future. And if it is a conversation, let's say with a friend or family, or something comes up that's drama or negativity that you don't want in your life, write down a statement. What is it that you're going to say at that time if it does come up that's going to allow you the strength and the confidence to politely say, I can't be involved in this. I'm sorry that you're going through this, but I can't be involved in this. Find a way that you can come up with a solution that you can have that conversation if it comes up. So go ahead and pause this, write down this information, and come back when you're ready. Congratulations, you're getting closer. I know this is a lot of information, but I promise you when you go through this and you have it in a binder, this is going to be something that you can go back through, and it's really going to help you to obtain the desired outcomes that you want, and it's going to help create that business plan, that roadmap that's going to make you successful. So now we're going to talk about what can you outsource. Now this is huge, huge. What are the things that you're doing right now that you do not need to be doing? Now, even though we're talking about your business plan, this is also personal stuff. Now, I am a mother of 2 children, and my husband works a lot, and so scheduling is hard. It is very, very difficult. And so with my business, I have to make sure that I am completely outsourcing as much as possible. I have a team at work that I outsource to, but I also have people at home that I have to outsource to as well. So you need to look at both spectrums. What are things that you do not need to be doing that are taking your time? Again, go back and reevaluate your week. If you look through your week and you write down everything that you're doing, what are things that you do not need to be doing that you are doing too? What can you outsource? Can you have a house cleaner? Can you have someone travel, pick up, take off, pick up and drop off kids? Can you have somebody that meal preps for you? Can you have somebody that does your laundry, takes care of your car? Whatever it is that you're currently doing that's taking time away from you receiving the outcome that you want, and that's not allowing you to give more time to creating the business that you desire, what are those things that you can outsource? And then within your business, what are things that you're doing? What's on your task plate that you can outsource? Who can you outsource that to? There's virtual reality assistant or virtual assistants that you can reach out to, which are, online that you can research as well. That you can go through and you can have them do different marketing things. What is it that's taking your time? When you go through and you itemize your day, what are things that are taking your time that you do not need to be doing that you can train somebody else to do and or you can outsource? So go ahead and pause this. I want you to write down everything that you can think of that you can outsource. And then when you're done, come back to this video and restart. So now we're on to schedule the big 3. Now we went through a lot of information. I know your brain is probably it's probably getting a little bit calmer because it's less information that you feel like you have to hold on to in your head because now you have it written down. But now we're going to get to scheduling the big 3. What can you consume, learn, and implement now? So write down the first 3 things that you need to learn today to reach your desired outcome. Time block education time on your calendar and do it. So when we go through the big 3, what are the biggest things that you think that you need to do first in order to get your business going? Now you can go back and you can look at what we wrote down as far as, what is it that you need to master earlier in this section in order for you to move forward. And you could look at that list and say, okay, what are the top 3 things that I need to do? Now, typically you're going to be learning something, you're going to be outsourcing something, and then you're going to be saying no to things. So you need to look at those as, okay, maybe those are the first 3 things that you need to do and implement now. So you're going to write down, I need to learn and I need to start learning this by, or I need to learn it by, and you're going to put the time. I need to outsource, and you can write down everything that you need to outsource, and then you can schedule a time that you're actually going to sit down and figure out who you need to outsource it to and outsource it. And then maybe the last one is I need to go through and review my day for the week, and I need to figure out things that I can say no to and say no and clear my schedule for things that I need to say yes to. So go ahead and pause this, and you're going to write down the actions that you're going to take after today, the first 3 things, when you're going to do it by, and that way we can get it started. So go ahead and pause this and write those down. Welcome back. So now we're on to number 11. We're going to write 2 things that you will feel by accomplishing this outcome and 2 things you don't want to feel about not accomplishing this outcome. Now this is a really important section. And the reason that it's important is when we get to those times that it's really tough, we feel like we can't continue, we're really down in our business, we need to really connect with why we're doing what we're doing and feel why we're doing what we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to feel what it's going to feel like if we reach this desired outcome. So I really want you to get comfortable with this. I want you to sit down. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to really think. When you get this outcome, how is it going to make you feel? How are you going to feel inside? What is it going to do for you? What is it going to do for your family? For me, a lot of my work was watching my kids walk across, with their college diploma. And so oftentimes when I would get into a position where it was really hard and I just didn't think I would keep going, that's what I would do. I would visualize them walking across the stage with their diploma, and it would allow me to get back up and keep going. I was connected to the reason, the purpose of why I was going through what I was doing and why I was working so hard. And you really got to be able to connect with that and understand why you're doing what you're doing to get you through those hard times. But you also need to feel the opposite side of it. If I don't reach this outcome, so for me, if I wasn't able to get my kids to go to college and put them through college and help them to become stable individuals, how would I feel? I'd feel terrible. I would feel like a bad parent. I would feel like everything that was my purpose in life I didn't accomplish. It would make me feel really sad, and really sad was what kept me going. So some people are empowered by feeling good. Some people are empowered by not feeling bad. So you got to connect with both sides. You need to understand how you're going to feel both good and how you're going to feel both bad if you don't reach the desired outcome that you want. And that's going to help keep you motivated. So I want you to take some time with this one. Please pause the video and really take some time and write down 2 ways that you're going to feel, get really connected with it, feel it, and then 2 ways that you're going to feel if you didn't accomplish your outcome. So go ahead and pause this and write those down. Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about why is this outcome a must for you. Now after completing the last section, this should be a pretty easy one to write down. But we really need to connect with why is this non-negotiable? Why do I have to reach this outcome? Why is it so important? Why is this a must? And why is it going to be so important for me to accomplish this? Why is this a must for you? I want you to pause this video and I want you to go through and I want you to write down. You can take one sentence, you can take many sentences, but why is this outcome a must for you? Go ahead and pause this video and write that down. Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about keys to personal success. Now we've gone through this module here and we've broken down everything that you need to do. You know what the big 3 things that you're going to start with that you're going to do, and you know why you're doing it, why it's a must for you, what you're going to feel if you don't. After you complete those 3 things, you need to go back to this list and you need to check off more. So now you're going to go through all the things that you know you need to do to accomplish this goal and this outcome, and you're going to complete them until it's finished. Now you may find that there's certain things on there that you don't need anymore. You can cross them off, or you may be adding to it. But really, that's how this is a roadmap to success. You're going to continually be updating and changing your roadmap to reach your desired outcome. So now you have the tools that you need to reach this outcome and be successful long term. But there are some additional keys to personal success that we need to go over as well. Now, if you ask any of the successful entrepreneurs, business people, everybody around the world, I've done a lot of research, reading, and this is kind of what has come up as things that help them to be successful and things that I strive to do all the time as well. You need to feed your mind daily. So you need to feed, I'm noticing here that it's misspelled, but you need to feed your mind daily. Read at least 30 minutes a day, self-development. Now, if you don't have time to read, you can even listen to an Audible, a YouTube, podcast, anything as you're driving, in the car, or if you're at the gym working out, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you're putting at least 30 minutes of some type of self-development, positive, inspiring motivation into your day every day. If you haven't, do it. You need to hire a coach and get an accountability partner. I cannot stress that enough. You need to get an accountability partner starting today, because we already have your implement 3 things that you're going to get started on, and you need somebody that knows what those are, when you want them done by, and you need to check in with them to make sure they're completed. And hire a coach. Do some research and figure out what coach you need, and make sure you hire a coach to keep you on track to reach your desired outcomes. And then you're going to develop your emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental awareness. Now, these are just some additional daily disciplines that we'll walk through real quick, things that will help you get you into the right frame of mind, make sure that you're in the best state possible so that you can be successful. So that's setting your intention for the day. Take 10 minutes out of the day to get into a good state. You can get pumped up with some uplifting music, jump up and down, get your body moving, do 3 sets of 10 of just breathing and moving your hands up and down over your head. Each set, just think about something that you're grateful for. Gratitude is huge for inspiring, for motivation, and for getting you to reach the desired outcomes you want, because you feel empowered. You got to really feel it, though. Feel the energy that's in you and connect with yourself, God, if you're spiritual, or the universe, coming into you like a force field and coming back out of you. So you just really want to get connected and just say thank you for everything that we have. You want to really sit in the gratitude. Each day you should be connecting and feeling very grateful for what you do have, and showing that gratitude by feeling it and speaking it. And then think of the 3 outcomes that you want for the day. Think, feel, and celebrate it as if it's already done. Now, these don't have to be big outcomes. They could be 3 small outcomes to get to the outcome that you're working on. Maybe it's just, I want to feel energized today. I want to feel healthy. I want to be able to add value back today. Those are the things that you really want to set the intention for, and then show gratification for things that you already have. And become emotionally aware. The biggest thing that holds us back is our inintelligence of our emotions. We feel stuck because we feel overwhelmed or procrastination, and we don't get clear on what it is that's holding us back, so we can't move forward. So start asking questions when you're in that state. When you feel stuck, ask, how am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I reacting or not reacting? And get very, very clear and dig deep. Because typically what it is really deep beyond the surface level. And so a lot of times we don't even ask ourselves those questions, and we think it's something that it's not. So get very clear on your emotions and keep asking questions until you get to the root of it. Exercise at least 3 times a week. Not only does it let off endorphins, it helps your creativity. This is where most successful people get their ideas, their most creative moments, is during times of exercise, whether that be walking, running, lifting weights, whatever it is that you enjoy doing that you're going to continue as a habit. Set the intention that you're going to do it at least 3 times a week. Put it on your calendar, get up and do it. And as a side note, a good habit that you can do in order for you to make sure that you're reaching these is that you create the intention the night before. So set out your clothes somewhere where you can see them. It's already prepared, and your water bottle. And that way when you get up in the morning, it's not like, oh, I don't have to get everything ready. It's already ready. All you have to do is get up and do it. Create healthy eating habits. That is your energy source. What you eat is going to create the energy that you need to sustain and work towards the outcomes that you're desiring. Filter who you hang out with. If they're not adding value or positive support, don't spend time with them. Again, this is going to go back to the going back and reevaluating your week. Who was I with? How did I feel? If you really start paying attention to your moods, typically you're going to notice that if you're in a down mood, it's because of a situation that you're in or somebody that you're around, and you need to have the conversation with them and say, if it's somebody important to you in your life, you need to say, I really want you to be in my life. I'm really trying to focus on being positive and, creating a good environment. And, I want to work with that on you, with us together. I want to make sure that we have, now don't say that they're at fault, but just say that you want to work on your relationship with them so that you can create a positive environment. If it doesn't change, you need to just slowly and politely remove yourself from that situation because it's going to hold you back. So again, my purpose has been to provide value. I hope that you found this session valuable. So you can stay tuned for next week's session on Roadmap to Long-Term Success. This is Kristen Cooper, Coach Kristen Cooper. I hope you have a wonderful day.